Hi, this is Kelly Devine again, and I'd like to share some more with you about Kratom. Excuse me. What I would like to share with you today is a little bit about medications and ones that I used to be on before I stopped Kratom and ones that I no longer take because of Kratom. I would also like to dedicate this video to a dear friend who lost her life partner, Amy Morvil, and her husband, Bert. I'd like to make this special for you. I have degenerative disc disease. I have notes tonight. Fibromyalgia since I was 20. Medications, physical therapy from the age 25 to 42. I was on, this is going to be for a while. I was on Opana, Oxycontin, fentanyl patch, Indocet, Percocet, Darvocet, Vibrid, levothyroxine, fluoxetine, quatapine, ketamine compound, tramadol, mexaloxone, Xanax, Lyrica, gabapentin, tizendine, Klonopin, Umprade, trazodone, hydroxine, amphetamine salt, which is Adderall, Prozac, Seroquel, Vicodin, Valium, Soma, Medrol, hydrocodone, diazepam, guatapine, I can't pronounce half of this stuff, prednisone, Effexor, Neurontin, Synthroid, Scalaxin, Motrin, cyclobenzaprine, promethazine, fluconazole, corlioxone. This is ridiculous. Methylprednisone, methocarbamol, sulfaxin, ketorolac, diazepam. And I know that there are some that I'm forgetting because I think it's because I want to forget. One of the medications was given to me by a psychiatrist, and the side effect was my hair fell out in clumps. I got such blurred vision that I was restricted to where I could not drive. I could not put two words together. My communication skills were almost non-existent, and it made me feel really, really stupid. I thought it was a pinched nerve in my neck. Come to find out, it was the side effect from that medication. My hands, my fingers went so numb, I could not even feel this. Oh, this is my medication list from the past 5 years. So, yeah, I'm sure I'm one of many. So, let's see. In the past 3 or 4 years, my 2 bulging discs are now 4 bulging discs and a herniated disc in my T-spine. The 4 are in my neck. Narcolepsy. I sleep for multiple days. Sleepwalking. We had to put bells on all the doors so that when I left the house in the middle of the night, somebody would know. And I went on a cruise with my family for my father and stepmother's anniversary, and they had to lock the balcony to the deck so that I would not sleepwalk off of the ship. It was the worst vacation. I slept most of the time, And I was also humiliated when my father walked in the stateroom. I had 13 medications on the bed, and I was trying to put everything together because with all this medication, you can't think straight. I had these little Ziploc bags, and each one had the time I was supposed to take it. It was that much. Some medications were 5 times a day, some 4, some 2, very few, 1. So I had to put together all the medications in Ziploc bags according to what time I was going to have to take them. My dad walked in while I was doing that, and it was the moment of truth when he finally realized how sick I really was. So, I suffer chronic pain. I was this is about how I found out about Kratom. I was in a support group online on Facebook, and I was, it was always so depressing. I would always go in there looking for hope, and all I got out of it was pain, anguish, anxiety, broken relationships, depression, suicide, suicidal ideations, cutting, burning, and I never really got much hope from it. Just the only thing I got from the groups were that I'm not alone, but I never felt like there was a solution. So one day in one of the chronic pain groups, this lady, Kathy, sent me a private message, and she said, I have to tell you about this plant I found. My suspicions were very high. I did not believe that something natural existed, and I certainly didn't think that something natural existed that could replace 13 medications and actually make me not hurt. So I did some Googling, and when I was Googling Kratom, all I kept coming up with were articles that just were not hopeful. They didn't put Kratom in a good light. I did find some really good YouTube videos, and that made me feel good. I decided to do some further research, and I went looking for Kratom groups in Facebook. That's where I found some hope. It took me a month to get the courage up to actually use it. I got it from a head shop. I paid about $45 for 30 grams. Wow. Well, that is why I do not support head shops. Also because you never know what you're getting. So it took me a month to get the courage up to use it. It's scary venturing into the world of the unknown. And when you've been suffering chronic pain over 20 years, you don't believe there's something that can really help you, that can save you. When I finally got the courage up, I took 1/4 teaspoon and I put it in a bowl of yogurt because it was about the smelliest I'd ever, I'm not even going to use the word, but it was something awful. I attempted the toss and wash. I nicknamed it the toss and swish because there's nothing about washing it down. You definitely have to swish it. When I finally did get the courage up to try it, within less than 20 minutes, I just didn't hurt. It's not like with medications where you'll take a pain pill or a muscle relaxer and you feel it coming on, or all of a sudden you're queasy or you're sleepy or you feel blurred vision. didn't hurt. And I was like, this. So I waited for that to wear off, and it lasted about 6 hours, which was amazing. Because even with pain pills, it barely lasted 4. So then when the pain started coming back, I took another dose. And I was like, wow, this really does work. And for a person like me to get pain relief, it's amazing. I'm not going to get teary-eyed this time. I remember after using Kratom for a few days, I woke up one day and I went in to see my mom and I said, Mom, I don't want to jinx it, but it's been 30 minutes and I'm not hurting. And usually by 30 minutes into the day, I'm dying. My neck hurts. I gotta go lay down. My back's killing me. I can't stand up. I'm hanging on to stuff. My sciatics are so bad that my legs start shaking. I was like, a day with not pain? I haven't felt that since I was 19. So that was absolutely amazing. When I started realizing that this plant really did work, I started telling more and more people about it. Because if you suffer chronic pain and you're just dying to die, you know there are other people out there like you. And being in the support groups, you've met most of them, or a lot of them. And I'm very saddened to know that there are a lot of people who haven't made it because they did not suck at dying and they succeeded at suicide. And they didn't make it for the miracle to happen. And I'm grateful I did. One of the ways that I store my Kratom is in a mason jar. And this one's colored purple, so it keeps it dark. And this is what it looks like. And you'll see, well, this one isn't a silica pack. It's actually a cylinder that keeps medicine dry. But I save these out of everything that I can. Even my mom saves them for me. And I put them in my bag or container or jar of Kratom so that it stays fresh longer. The one thing that you have to be careful of is not to let the moisture get too high, because if that happens, it allows it to grow mold, and that's where people get sick. Some other things I'd like to mention, because I encourage more natural herbs. I found that lemongrass is really good for a muscle relaxer. And when I was at Walmart, I found Tazo tea has lemongrass with spearmint tea. And it's very inexpensive. So this is a muscle relaxer. And spearmint is good if you have an upset stomach. I also use chamomile tea, and you can get it pretty inexpensive. And here are some of the tinctures that I did not get a chance to share about. Now, this one is for my mom. It's called Goldenrod. For people who have emphysema, asthma. This one is dandelion root. And she has chronic emphysema. And back in December, it got so bad that I thought she was I thought it was the end for her. So my friend Susie Sparrowhawk, you can find her on Facebook too, is a herbalist, and she makes these tinctures, and they're very affordable. They're $5 for just one tincture. And recently we just started using a new one called Hawthorn, and I use this one too. It helps the blood vessels too. So it helps in the muscles and the lungs, healing. This is my favorite one. And I need to order another one because it's almost gone. This is Skullcap. So these are some other herbs that I use as well as Kratom. Skullcap will actually help heal the central nervous system, which is something I just recently learned. And something that I use daily, multiple times a day. It's a lifesaver. Susie says that her fibromyalgia is in remission. That is what I am looking for. I'm looking for remission. So between the help with these natural herbs and Kratom, I am able to function today. I have to personally thank Kathy Turner for being so bold to send me a private message on Facebook in the chronic pain group. If it wasn't for her, I'd probably be 6 feet under, and I wouldn't have made it to the miracle. So, Kathy, thank you very much. You've helped save my life. There are other stories like mine, and you can read more about them. The American Kratom Association and the testimonies. You can also find out more about Kratom at United States Kratom United. I created Kentucky Kratom United in December because I wanted a place for my doctors to read about it. I did not want them to run into the stories that I had when I Googled it. So I created Kentucky Kratom United as a place for people to learn the real benefits of Kratom and not the myth or the drama, the false allegations, because it's such a helpful plant that to deprive us of this plant means the death of so many people. And if it becomes illegal, let's just put it this way, I'm really trying not to think that way. So we have to work really hard on keeping it legal. We have to work together as a community. We have to love each other despite our differences. Accept each other and their faults. We use Kratom for a reason, and it's not because we're healthy and happy. It's because we're sick and we need help. So, thank you very much. Hope you guys enjoyed this other video. And if I get more topic ideas, I'll come back with a new one. I just felt the need to tell more about how I found out about Kratom. Also about how to properly store it in a dark cabinet, not near the heat. You don't want it to get hot. And I do not put it in the refrigerator. Now that one's up for debate. Save your silica packets. Keep Kratom fresh. Stay safe. Use a vetted vendor. Make sure they test their product. Make sure it is packaged in a clean environment. Not around dogs and cats. Not at the kitchen counter after you cook a chicken. Know your vendor. Know their packaging practices. Know their reputation. These are important important factors to make sure that you're getting healthy kratom. Till then, thanks. Signing off.